Any guys out there ever wonder how your state compares to others when it comes to things like child custody, child support? What kind of different laws and experiences are happening in other places? Are some better or worse than others? How does your experience compare to somebody that's in Montana, Hawaii, or Tennessee? I did not actually know that this existed here that we're going to talk about today, but I want to share it with you. So today is not going to be anything like a research review or a deep data dive, anything like this. Today's video is more to share this research and this report and information with you as a way to get information to guys. So I hope that it's helpful for a lot of you. And if it's not for you particularly, please share it with somebody who can use it. I'm sure we probably all have somebody in our lives that would like to know more about this information. So what I'm going to do is go through this report by National Parents Organization and an interactive map that they put online. That link is going to be below for those of you who want it. But seriously, even if you're not in a situation where this affects you, this can be actually really, really interesting, at least for geeks and researchers like me. So let's talk just a moment about this, and then we'll have a look at the report. So again, this was published by the National Parents Organization, that's NPO, and they're a nonprofit family law reform advocacy organization. They focus on protecting children's relationships with parents after separation or divorce. They do a lot of advocacy. Now, this report right here examines an, albeit narrow, but still very consequential part of every state's child support system. That is, how support formulas account for parenting time. So what's the relationship between those two? And we'll have a quick look at some of the report content, like letter grades that they actually give to states and other helpful information for guys out who are interested. Now, keep in mind that this is not a complete evaluation of custody or policies or laws for every state, but it's a great place to start. It is a state-by-state analysis that can help you locate information in your own state, as I mentioned. And I like this one so much that I'm going to start adding this and other articles and resources to my author site moving forward at rowpress.com. This is going to be a place where I put reference in archival material that I want to reference another time, and that might be helpful for other people so they don't have to go online, try to find it themselves. Maybe I just forget to put a link in a video, something like that. So I'm going to start putting stuff up here like this on occasion. It's obviously not going to include every resource of every article that I do or every video that I do. I might just put something up here once a week, 2 or 3 times a month, something like that. I don't know. But it's going to be kind of like a staple of my resources that I want to keep available for myself and others. All right, so that link that I gave you below will take you to this page right here. You can learn a little bit more about National Parents Organization, have a peruse through the material. For the purposes of our discussion, I'm going to click on right here at the interactive map. We're just going to take a very brief look at this and then have a look at the report. What I really like about this is they've made it very interactive and very easy to use. So you can see, again, each state, they've given a letter grade regarding the topic that I'll actually explain this a little bit more here in just a moment. But we can see each state has a letter grade. Let's look at state of Washington, gets a grade of F. They give positives and negatives for why they assigned it that grade. And then just a little bit of additional context there. We can sort, we can filter here a little bit, select all of those that received any given letter grade. Alaska and Hawaii are down here as well. And we can see the color schema that they're using here. So if nothing else, if you're just short on time right now, you want to click on that link, go over here and see the different grade distributions going on around me down here in Florida. We've apparently got an A-. So that's good. And I should mention also that if I didn't already, this is a 2022 report. This is on this specific topic. I believe this is the most recent one they have. So if anything ever comes updated, I'll try to find it, try to keep an eye on it, and I will report on it there. So keep in mind, there may be some changes here. So let's actually, now that we have had a quick look at that, let's take now a look at the report itself. All right, so here's the PDF report that I downloaded from NPO. And as I mentioned, I will put in my archival retrieval type catalog on my author site. And by the way, the link I'm leaving for there is directly from NPO. It's a PDF link download file, downloads it directly from NPO. I'm not hosting it. I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just providing the link for easy access. So what we can see here, again, I'm just going to go over some of these things briefly so you know what's in here, and you can go get a copy and dive in closer for yourself. Today's more just of a resource information type discussion. So they give a little bit about their mission. You can learn who they are. We've got their introduction, their conclusions here, right? So this is, I'd say, a technical report, right? They actually did some research, did this all very systematically. So all of their information is in here. Right, we see some definitions here, some terminology. The one that makes this really unique and important, I think, and actually the main topic of this report is their parenting time adjustment. I'm going to read this real quick. They define that this refers to adjustment that a state's basic child support calculation employs to determine an appropriate preemptive child support transfer payment when both parents are providing housing and providing direct financial assistance for their children. A PTA is also sometimes referred to as a parenting time offset or a residential time credit. So the importance here is that they're looking at, let's say you have a support order for X amount of dollars. But what happens when your children are with you for 2 months straight throughout the summer, as opposed to every other weekend, like hopefully you're lucky enough to get? What happens in those instances when you have your children in your house more often than usual or at a certain threshold? Then what happens to the support, right? Because you are going to have expenses for the support and then for them in your own home. What I hope can be really helpful for a lot of guys is in these appendices. So they give state-by-state grades. We can see how many states or which ones actually earned an A+. There were none. Which earned an A. I was really surprised about California, just having my own opinions about it. But if you're in California, let me know what your experience is with the combination of child support and time with your children. I'm curious to understand. I did not read this. I'll be very honest, why it was rated that high or if it's actually true. Right. So unfortunately, we can see that many of these earn a grade or C or lower, many of which have a D-, F+. I've really heard of an F+ before, or a grade of an F. And then it goes through this, maybe really helpful for a lot of you guys who are interested in learning more about what's going on in your actual state and getting more information and resources. I believe this goes through alphabetically by state, and then it provides links here as well. In fact, let me go ahead and click on that one. Let's have a look and see what comes up. All right, so Alabama. Now, this is a 27-page document from Alabama, and we can see that effective up to 2023, right? So although this is a 2022 report, this looks to be updated since then. And in fact, I'm hoping that this is updated maybe year by year, that the links inside that original report are continued to be uploaded, I'm not sure, or updated. So as you can see, this one for Alabama, this is a 27-page report. That's a great resource. Right, so again, for those of you who are interested, I highly, highly recommend downloading, have a look at this thing. And let me get back to our regular PDF. For those of you who, maybe it's not necessarily important for you, seriously hope that you share it with other guys. So we can see we've got Alaska, Arizona. We can see their grade there. And this is what I was saying about they give all of the positives and the negatives that help explain or justify the grades that they gave them. So again, not really a deep dive, anything like that. Let me know if you want to see more information like this. I've explained a couple of very large government type reports in previous content. I think the largest one I reported on was something like a 98 or well over 100-page report about the wage gap that the government had put out many years ago at this point. So, but it's still very relevant. If you want more resource type stuff like this, let me know the topic, give me a yes or no, and I'll do what I can. I'm here to give you guys information that you want or is helpful for you, not necessarily things that I think everybody should be interested in. So anyway, have a great day. I hope that this is helpful. Share it with somebody, even if it's not helpful for you. And I'll be back real soon.